Mm, Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and children, everyone who is watching out there, District Focus Television. On 20th, UNEB released the 2020 USCE results. The performance, according to them, was better than that of 2019, despite the presence of COVID-19 in the country, which even led to the closure of schools for some time now. COVID-19 is real, but schools are moving on and they are performing well. Today, we are out of the studios in Ntinda, Chisasi, in Ntinda, Chisasi Road. We are in Chisasi at Universal High School. Universal High School is located 2 to 3 kilometers from Bukoto Trading Center. We are here. The results were released, and the good news is Universal High School is among the best schools in Kampala. This is a District Focus Television. We are focusing on what is happening across the districts. Today we are in Kampala at Universal High School. I'm sitting, near me here is the founder of Universal High School, Mr. Nuwagaba Godfrey. He started the school in 1994. 24 years later, the school is still standing, very strong, performing, is among the schools that are really good. Amazing, sitting on more than 7 acres of land. Very beautiful building. If you look around, my viewer, I'm seeing story buildings around. The school is beautiful. The school is well maintained despite the lockdown that has hit almost every learning institution in the country. Mr. Nuwagaba Godfrey, I'm Seka Wagenda from District Focus Television. Thank you for welcoming us to Universal High School, Chisasi. You founded this school in 1994. What happened? What motivated you to start such a now beautiful school?
Anyway, the major motivation came from poor service that was in government schools at that time. Parents could yawn around for vacancies and they could not really get vacancies. It was only those who were connected to the headmasters of Kampala School that could get vacancies. I was a teacher at Chitante, I was a teacher at Pride Academy. Later I was transferred to Nandere Secondary School in Roero. Then I became a deputy in Nsanje SS on Masaka Road. But I observed there was a need to participate in private education because there was really a big vacuum. The school started way back, 94, in Mengo Chisenyi. There was a certain institute. They gave me one room. I didn't have money to rent. The owner of that institute was my friend, gave me one room. Then I started looking for students. One evening, I recruited one student called Masembe. I convinced the young man that please. Anyway, initially he had come to join the institute. Said, you man, you have good results which can take it to A level. Why do you go for the institute? The boy was sincere and said, I have little school fees. At the same time, I don't know which school can admit me. I say, me, I'm going to put you in senior 5. Ask me which school? Said here.
So you didn't mention the name of the school?
Then that very evening, the boy got convinced and went and discussed it with the parent. The following day, as I was closing the gate, the boy came with a fee of 50,000. Say, my father agreed and he has given me 50,000. I picked the 50,000 from him. I wrote an acknowledgement letter on a piece of paper. There, Universal started. The following day, I used the 50,000 to start off work, to buy some pieces of chalk. I was a teacher of history. I was a teacher of geography. I gave him the combination of Hague, so I was tasked with looking for one teacher to teach the boy economics. So there, one teacher, one student, we started Universal.
Universal started with only one child. My viewer out there, don't get discouraged. Everything is possible. There's nothing impossible. Nwagawa, you started with one child.
One child.
Tell us more about that.
The technique I used was to use that 50,000, go and buy like 30 T-shirts, print a very big word behind Universal Academy. Then I started mobilizing students, and whoever could agree, I give a free T-shirt. And people started asking, where is this Universal in Mengo Chisenyi? Where is this Universal in Mengo Chisenyi? And later it took us like 1 week. The boy had appreciated my teaching. I'd enjoyed my history, my geography. And I got one teacher from Mengo, was called Riakayo, and he was a teacher of economics. He started assisting the boy with economics. So then we started the school. We started adding some other students. I moved around other schools, picking a few students here and there. In a short time, like 3 weeks, I think we had a total enrollment of about 10 students. And we increased. I could source for more teachers as more combinations come in. I think in one term, we managed to end the term with 39 students. We opted for a second term now with 39 students.
You started from one child in first term. By the end of second term, you had 39 children.
By beginning of second term, we began with 39.
Yes, you began with 39 children. You said one of the secrets was you
probe back. Whatever little I could get, I would probe back to get a few things the students need, a few things the teachers need. I was lucky my wife at that time was working with Hotel Equatorio, so he could provide for food at home. Me, my work was to provide for the school.
So from Mengo Chisenyi, how long did you spend in Mengo Chisenyi?
Mengo Chisenyi, we spent a little time because when the number grew, we could not fit in the little sheds we had made. The
number grew within which period of time? Did it grow within the first 2 years or?
Within 2 terms, I think we had about 60 students. So we had to jump over to Old Kampala. We entered an old Wamshako. It was an incomplete structure. I tried to reshape it. I even made some classes behind made out of trees and water and we made good classrooms like 4 behind. Then we had the building was big. The boys' quarters, we made them into the dormitory. Then we had to hire a hostel. And in 1 year, I think we had over 200 students.
In 1 year? So
96, that's when we had expanded the number to around 300. And then we had to think of buying land. When we thought of buying land in Kampala was expensive. That's what made us jump over to Chisas, where land was a bit available and cheap.
So we jumped over to Chisas here. We have been for how long years now? How many years now?
From 97.
From 97 to now, you are in Chisas here.
Starting was not easy because we thought we could make this one a girls' school and the other one remains a mixed school. But as you know, management could not favor us. We had to close the other place because those remained there could not pay rent. We all brought all students here. And the school worked as a girls' school for about 12 years, by the way. Universal remained a girls' school because initially we had started this project as a girls' school. But later, because of some issues related with management of girls, But said, no, let's liberalize and make it a mixed school.
It's been a long journey, 24 years. They started with one child. Now you have how many children? What is your population?
By lockdown, before lockdown disturbed us, we were closing 500 students.
From one child to 500 children. Wow, that is success. Mr. Nwagawa, that's what we call success. Why have you succeeded? You know, I've been asking that question. Whenever you go ask that question, do you have a secret behind your success? What makes you succeed? Because you started with one child, now you have 500 children. And they are excelling, they are good as far as academics is concerned. How are you doing it?
Okay, the major secret behind, you have to have passion in whatever business you are doing. Let it be a shop, let it be any business. The moment you don't have passion, then I think things cannot work. Then again, human resource. I think there is one businessman who said that you should mind about people, and you should mind about 3 points. 1 is people, 2 is people, 3 is people. They are the very people that will break the organization. They are the very people that will expand the organization. As the managing director for these 20 years, I've minded much about human resource. My teachers know it. Even if I have only 2,000 for my home use and the teacher stands before me and say I don't have what to eat, we share it. And so teachers believe in us as people really who care for them. And even through these lockdowns, I think we've managed to maintain our teachers. We will not change the staff, and they will not overturn. We will not overturn staff because whenever somebody feels bad that he's bad off, we have some matoka around, we have some gardens around. He comes, at least you give a bunch of matoka if you don't have money. At least you give something. We have some subsidiary businesses that support us. Like we have a few taxis, we have a shop. So that's why you find the school is clean. It's a whole day, the school is clean. We have to maintain the gate men, we have to maintain electricity, every building has light. The school is clean because of those small subsidiary businesses, which has seen us through the lockdown of 2 years. By the way, 2 years we've suffered, but we've accepted it because life, as Mr. President says it, life first. We accepted that principle, and we are agreeing that life first. We try to use whatever resource we can learn.
When did you, can you tell us which year did you achieve your breakthrough? The year that you really did things and you also, you reached the extent of wandering. When did you break through? Because you started in 1994, you were in 2021, 24 years away from 1994. When was your breakthrough, Mr. Nwagawa?
No, the breakthrough was as early as 97 when we were shifting this place. Because before we shifted this place, at least we had a good number, like 300 and something students, like around 350. We had a big area at that time, and the finance was coming. For example, the first building, we had to build it in 2 terms. We completed the building and we shifted that building. Then we started putting up other buildings slowly. But all in all, we had to use the principle of plowing back. Whatever small profits we could call profits, we plow back. Whatever, we did a lot of sacrifice, but we've done a lot of sacrifice for this school, by the way. And without that much sacrifice, we wouldn't reach where we are.
Now you're almost retired. You handed over the school to some of your children. They are among the people that are running the school. Do you regret retiring? Do you regret retiring Have you ever sat down and thought to yourself, or probably you wouldn't have, you'd be still active as in the education service?
No, I started this retirement preparation something like 10 years ago. Because in 2003, I built a house in the village. It was a nice house. And whenever I go there and repair it, it becomes as new as I constructed it. Even the kajas on top is very new and good. That gave me an impression that a building has more lifespan than me. Universal as an institution is bigger than me and has more long-lasting expectation. That's why, as I was paying my school fees for my daughters, I would insist to put them in good schools and say, please, what are you copying there? I would visit them and say, take notes and tell me, what is something special here? There are these big schools, some of my daughters studied in Absunsa, Gayaza, Immaculate, Mary Hill, Chitende. All those schools, I've educated my child in all those schools. And whenever we could go for VD, I would sit with my daughters and we take notes and say, please, anything good you are seeing here, anything we can copy and take to our school. And even those girls who are not directly involved in the school know it, that it's their responsibility to take over from me.
Okay, now, Mr. Nwagaba, time is on our neck and we're about to conclude. So, has COVID-19 been a blessing in disguise? Have you learned anything from COVID-19, despite the fact that a lot of teachers, including yourself, have almost gone broke? Have you learned anything from COVID-19? You are now teaching virtually. Children are studying online. What have you learned from this situation? Because it had never existed in your entire teaching career, and after probably some years after you retired. What have you learned from this current condition dominated by COVID-19?
What I've mainly learned, is this thing of saying that you should not put all your eggs in one basket. Because first lockdown, my wife was, his work was event management. He does decorations on weddings and that. That was closed. I had those few taxis, they were packed. And we reached a standstill when we could only depend on the portion that was left in the stores of the school. But then I said, no, this cannot happen. I went down in one corner of my land, started the achibanda, put in charcoal, put in matoke. I could do telephone home. They put on lorry. I sell at the chibanda. And eventually made it into a big shop. It's now a supermarket. And it is because I knew these recurrences are normal and they might occur again. So at any one time, I learned that income from a different source is good. Income from rental is good. So I've tried to diversify. At the same time, at the school itself, we've learned to go digital. We've learned to go to use virtual teaching, and the parents appreciating.
Thank you, Mr. Nwagaba. Your word, a word to the government. You know what is happening. COVID-19 is what everyone is talking about these days. What can you tell the government? You give them some piece of advice, advise them, because now the enemy that we are all tackling, that we are all facing, is COVID-19. If you were in government, or if you were near the president or other authorities that are concerned about what is going on in the country, what would you tell us? What would you do if you are in government to let us go through this successfully? Because we have to get out of this and we stand again as a country. You are an educationist. Franka Tumweba has passed through this, and very many other important people. This is a huge school, it cannot be underestimated. You must be a man full of wisdom. You advise the entire country, our viewers out there, as you say, bye to them, advise them, because now the world has changed. We need to change. We are living, COVID is here. We are living, we shall live amidst the existence of COVID-19. As an elder citizen, a senior citizen, what can you say to our viewers out there?
Okay.
A piece of advice.
Okay. You see, the first wave of COVID-19, people didn't take it serious. People thought it was maybe a bit political, what or what. And even when students came back the first time, the schools were observing SOPs, but not very seriously. But this time, I think teachers and administrators have seen COVID is real, and they have a story to tell. I wish if we can do it now in a phased manner as we did it the other time. Teachers would be serious to take care of these children, and when it comes to spacing in a classroom or having going for food in shifts or doing anything possible, we would do it because now we've seen that COVID is real. Many people, our friends have died. So we can't take it for granted. And I would say, in order to revamp the economy, schools need to be opened, because without schools, the economy is not complete.
The economy is not complete without schools. Nwagaba, say bye to our viewers. But before you do that, can you mention probably 3 people who have been of useful service to you, who have really helped you to become what you are? As we say bye to us, to our viewers, yes, who have enabled you become what you are right now.
No, it's a question of mentoring. I've gone all the way through looking at prosperous business people, how they've been doing their businesses, how they've been, and in there, I also got a bit of coping, a bit of understanding how I can handle my business, and I brought back, it comes out. I cannot mention that so and so, but I've always admired rich people, I've always admired successful business people, and I've always wished to have also a successful business, expanded and sound. And with time, we shall make it. We are very confident. And I would say we cannot let what we've already got go down to the drain.
Thank you. Stand up a bit. Thank you.